welcome back to the second part of the Vet Q&A. And Dr. Tass is here again.
So we got the friendly vet again, and I hope that our viewers whose questions probably were not answered in the first part get some answers today. And I know you guys are waiting, so without any delay, let's get into it. Are you excited, Doctor?
Yes, let's do this.
Awesome.
Even I'm really excited too.
Yes.
Who's excited? Me!
Woo!
Woo!
So, Kauserali, do you want to get into the questions?
Yes. So now, continuation from the previous part, which was part 1. Do also watch that out too, just in case your questions were answered there.
Yes.
So coming to the second part.
Let's get started. First question, of course, has come from one more viewer.
Yes.
And whose question is it? Where it's from, and what's the question?
So the next question, Doctor with a cat, is
Doctor
how long do they live? How long do rabbits live? And this is from NCR in India.
And that's a lovely picture of the rabbit.
Yeah.
That's
it's so cute. Like
funny.
They're like about 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
They're very cute and cozy kind of.
Cute, aren't they?
Yes.
Nice and cute and fluffy. So rabbits depends on
squished.
Yeah, they're very squishable. Depends on the breed of rabbit, but they usually live around on average around 8 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 6 to 8 years.
Is Insia enjoying her bunnies? Do you think she's enjoying her bunnies?
Yeah, she looks, because she was holding one and it looks very cute.
Yes, that's
very nice.
That's true.
And with they even have a little blanket.
Oh yeah, to keep them warm. So that actually also, what's the next question that she's asked?
The next question following into the rabbit section is, do their fur thicken in winter?
Yes, they do. That is how they keep themselves warm. So they do thicken, and so does any other animals. Even Gilly has a lot of fur during winter.
Hi, Gilly.
They shed all the fur during summers. So, so that's how they keep themselves warm. Yes, they do grow a lot of fur. You, what is it? You grow fur? Yeah, he does too.
So any interesting fun facts about bunnies and rabbits? We see you also holding one bunny.
Yeah, we saw you holding a bunny.
Sit straight. Ah! Don't bite me. Don't bite me. So interesting facts about bunnies. Did Insia, or did you also know, Kosi, that bunnies' teeth don't stop growing?
Yeah, no, because even when I think I've heard that, even rodents too, when their teeth fall off, they just regrow in their orange incisors.
Yeah, the incisors continuously grow, so that is why you have to make sure that the bunnies are constantly munching on something that will grind their teeth and wear them down. Otherwise, they have a lot of issues. So bunnies need a lot of hay, a lot of fiber to munch on. So a lot of hay and grass and veggies, all sorts of healthy stuff. So, yeah.
That's why even in that cartoon, that Bugs Bunny, he always keeps munching on carrot.
Carrot, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part was kind of cool, right?
Yes, I know. He keeps munching. Now that's great. Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting insight. Even I did not know that their actually teeth keep growing.
And then they fall off and they grow new teeth.
Are constantly long and growing.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's good. So I hope Insia got her answer. And
yeah, hopefully that was your answers for your 2 buddy questions.
And thank you for the question.
And thank you very much, Doctor. That was an interesting
and thank you, Insia, for her question.
Yes, thanks to Insia for a question.
And now moving on to the next question. We are moving on from rabbits and going to birds.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
And for that, the question 11 is, so I have a pet bird, but what do I do when they fly on everyone? And how do I train the bird to stop flying on everybody? And that was from Swapna.
Swapna or Sapna?
Sapna.
Sapta, yeah.
She needs to go back and look at the first video and where I talk about positive reinforcement training. That's what she needs to do with her bird as well. She needs to train her bird to not go and hop on people and positively reward the bird when the bird actually goes and sits somewhere that she wants the bird to go and sit. So ask her to have multiple perches around the house so that you're giving the bird an option to land on something apart from a human's head or shoulder. So yes, multiple perches and training, lots of training with treats.
What if the house is small?
I'm sure we can have like hanging perches and things like that.
Yeah, that's actually good. Yeah. Yeah, like there's a hanging perches.
Oh, like where they just go and sit on them like a human hand, but except it's hanging and it's another hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So perch is a piece of wood or something like that, something cylindrical that mimics a tree branch, so the bird can actually sit on it.
Amazing.
That's interesting. I think Sapna definitely got an answer, and
yeah, I hope you got your answer.
Hope you go and buy some perches.
Yeah,
hanging ones.
Birds need a lot of toys to distract them. So you get heaps of toys at the pet shop for birds. So maybe if she distracts the bird with toys, then the bird won't be too interested in the guests that have come home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also had some birds coming in our old house when we had the big balcony. A lot of cockatoos coming in.
Yeah, like and there were a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then I even remember doctor came to our home, and then we were feeding the cockatoos.
We got the bird seeds. We
were feeding them kind of like
No, it's a bird seed basically.
Oh yeah, we're feeding them. Yeah. Kind of forgot how. We're feeding them tons of bird seeds, and they were very tasty for them. And then more and more came, and then like all the houses were like filled with cockatoos. That was amazing. I even took like 20 photos.
Over it.
Sorry, actually got a bit.
And they fight over the seeds.
Yes.
The fight birds.
Yes. Yes. So now that's interesting, and I think probably we got one more bird question.
Bird question. So we had two for now. Then the other bird question is, why do some pet birds bite? And this was from Eva. And before in the previous vet video, her question was on dogs, and the dog name was Milo, right? And this time it's on birds. So why do some pet birds bite?
The black Labrador.
Yeah.
No, the Milo, the white one.
The white one.
Poodle.
Oh, the white
poodle
one.
cross.
Yeah.
Sorry. So she has a dog and a bird. That's interesting. So sometimes the bird, when they bite, it's just their way of showing you affection and telling you that they love you. Sometimes it can also be because they're upset about something, or they're hurting, they're sore, they have a sore wing or a sore foot, and they don't want to be touched. And they're just that's their way of telling you to, back off. If that's the case, they should definitely go see a vet. But it sort of depends on, their body language. So if they're happy and they're chirping and that's when they're biting you, then they're probably just being playful. But obviously you should not encourage that behavior because that's not very nice. It's not pleasant to get bitten by a bird that has a very sharp beak. So don't encourage it. And you can tell the bird off. They do understand our body language as well. So yeah, it could be just a love bite from them.
Yeah, we can see actually in the picture, that the bird is actually on your shoulder.
Yeah, it's sitting.
And is it like kissing you, or is it trying to talk to you?
Yes, that's an eclectic parrot, and it is kissing, or I was kissing him. Now, don't actually do that. What I'm doing is a little bit naughty, so I should reprimand myself for it. But the reason why you shouldn't kiss birds is sometimes you can get some sort of disease from the bird, so it's not very pleasant. So you can get a respiratory disease from the bird. So I won't encourage it. But that is a picture.
This is just a one-off.
Not to do it.
Yeah. So don't do it, okay? Don't.
Now, interesting. I think Eva did get
hope you got your
the
question,
answer
Eva.
to her question. Yeah, and if your pet birds bite, then you know what to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
So read the body language, and if you think it's so unhappy, take it to the vet. Otherwise, don't encourage the behavior.
Any interesting facts about birds, about native birds of Australia?
And the diseases?
Oh my God. There's
one probably.
So many native birds.
Anything about cockatoos? Why are cockatoos so aggressive?
They're not very aggressive. In fact, we just had a really nice, sweet-natured cockatoo in a clinic last week with a broken beak, and he was very placid, very nice. I guess it's just their natural behavior of defending their territory, but I think people are mostly scared of them. I know I am a little bit. But the only reason I am a little wary is because of their beak and their claws. They're very sharp. And I have been bitten by a cockatoo. Sorry?
Even he is even.
But doctor's very brave though, because when I saw through that picture, the pictures that I taken of the cockatoos, like they were on a balcony, but I didn't even dare to open that door because I thought like they would come in, like swooping in, and I was very little at that time.
They're just boisterous and super friendly. So, but they just come across as scary just because of their size and the fact that the beak is so sharp.
Interesting. Yeah, thank you. That was really, really helpful on the birds and the rabbits.
So, doctor, when you're talking about the birds, the disease you mentioned when going close, what is it called and how does it affect you?
It is just a respiratory disease. So it's a bacteria that can cause issues in your respiratory tract. So you could get a cold or just a throat infection. Sometimes maybe even a lung infection, but that's in very rare cases. So it is recommended that you do not be in very close contact with a bird.
Okay.
Have you ever got it?
No, touch wood.
That's good. That's good. That's really
amazing.
good to know. So next question.
The next question is, do fishes ever close their eyes? This was by Vivon.
Yeah, good question, Vivon. Very intelligent question, because fishes actually don't have eyelids. So you know how we have eyelids and we use that to close our eyes? Fishes actually don't have that. So their eyes are constantly open. They just have a very protected cornea, so the water does not damage their eyes. But yeah.
So interesting.
Never actually close their eyes.
So what happens when they go to sleep? Like, do they
ever go to sleep?
They do sleep, but they just sleep with their eyes open.
Like this?
Yep.
And they constantly keep swimming, is it? Even when they
they have the sharks.
They can be stationary when they are asleep, or even just when they're not doing anything. They don't have
but sharks have to keep moving.
Yeah, but they have their own like a buoyancy mechanism to help them stay in that position.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, good insight.
So Vivon, hope you got your answer to this wonderful question.
Yes.
And now let's move on.
Yeah.
The next question I think is a very interesting and hard question for you to answer, Doctor. But it's, can pets get affected by COVID-19? This was by Tahira.
That is a very hard question to answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is going to take me more than a minute. Yes, they can, but it's a very complex topic, right? Because there's, in the short period of time since the pandemic, we're still learning about the virus. We do have a lot of research backing us that has been done in the past, and I'm sure there are better people who can answer this question, and probably not the right person. But if you coronavirus, right, the virus itself has been around for eons, years and years and years, and they are a large family of viruses. So some coronaviruses can cause just flu-like symptoms in people, and even in some animals, especially cattle and camels and bats, right? And then some coronaviruses are especially like species specific, right? So there are some coronaviruses for dogs and cats as well that only infect them, but do not affect any other species. But that is again a different strain of coronavirus, and it's been there in pets for a very long time. But does COVID-19 affect animals? There have been a lot of reports since the pandemic that have come out, and a lot of reports of animals infected with the SARS COVID-2, right? This is the CUV2 strain.
Yeah.
That has been documented all around the world. Most of these animals become infected after contact with people that have COVID-19. So that could include an owner or a caretaker at the zoo, or any other that have been in close contact. So we don't know all the animals that can be infected. That is still an ongoing research, and they're still figuring things out. But a number of animals have been reported, and those include companion animals like cats and dogs and even ferrets. There have been animals in zoos that have been affected as well, like all your big cats and your primates, like all the non-human primates. And, and there have been a lot of deers that have been affected as well, that have been reported in US. So yes, they can. Now, can they give us the COVID-19? I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if there is research to back that up.
So there is transmission that can happen from humans to animals.
From humans to animals, yes, but we're not sure if it's vice versa. Yeah.
And do the vaccines probably work, or like it's still?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have pets been given the vaccine? Like,
That's what. Yeah, maybe... no one has been given.
Not for the COVID-19. I think they're still trying to find more answers.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, and an interesting answer.
They do recommend that when a person is infected with COVID-19, and if they are isolating at home and if they do have pet cats or dogs, they do recommend that, they are kept separate from the affected people as well. So
okay,
yeah.
All right.
But I hope everyone's safe, and I hope nobody is getting COVID-19, and I hope everyone is getting vaccinated. Vaccination is very, very important.
Yeah.
So Tara, I hope you got your answer for this question. It was in my opinion, it was the most hardest of all of them so far.
It was very hard for me to answer as well, but I'm sure there's a lot of information online, and there are other people who can answer this question better than I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, doctor, so now let's come to the next question. The next question is from Nia, and it's on horses. And the question is, how long do horses live? And do they sleep while they're standing?
Ooh, good question. How long do horses live? Maybe I'm going to say average 30 years. I have seen and I have met a horse that was 37 years old.
Is that the same horse in the picture?
No, that is Merlin. That's my friend's horse.
Okay.
He, I think, is around 21 years old. Yeah.
Very big.
On an average 30.
Yeah, something like that.
And how much is a horse year in a human year?
Why do you like to compare everything to that? I don't know, but I'm assuming 30 would be around 90 years of age in human.
Wow.
Whoa, so he's 90 years old?
Yeah, so a good, after anywhere between like 2 years to 8 or maybe even 10 years of age, they're considered quite young and happy, and then they start aging.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. And also, do they sleep while standing? Second part.
Ooh, yes. So horses have this really cool thing called, I think it's called a stay apparatus. So what that means is that they have a locking mechanism in their tendons, in their legs, that help lock their joints in place, and that can help them sleep while standing.
So the legs are like stuck and only the body is like...
So all the joints get locked and they're able to stand on all their 4 feet. But they do go down and lie down on the side and sleep, which is very scary because I've been called out many times for that. I get nervous when horses go down and sleep because they have a very slow respiratory rate. So that means that they don't take a lot of breaths in a minute. So when I see a horse laying down, I have to stare at them for a few seconds longer than normal to check whether they're breathing or not, because sometimes I think the horse is not breathing and then I panic and then I see a big breath and I'm like, okay, they're alive. He's alive. The horse is fine.
Yeah, no, interesting insights about the horse.
Yeah, I didn't know that they have these all locking joints.
Yeah, even I didn't know that.
I have to read.
Cool, because they have evolved to run. They have very cool features in their legs.
Okay. Well, thank you, doctor, for that question. And me and Nia, hope you got your answer for that question.
Yeah.
Now, the next question is, how do animals...
No, this one from Munira.
Oh, the next one is from Munira. And it is, why are the necks of chickens so flexible? Like their neck is flexible.
That's an
Before you go into the question, do you see they got like 5 or 6 healthy chickens?
Are they Isa brown chickens? So they look like Isa browns, and they are egg-laying breed. So they lay a lot of eggs. So they're called layers.
Layers, okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. So the question is, why are the necks so
why
flexible?
the necks of those ice layers?
Chickens.
Yeah, chickens so flexible.
So birds have a very cool thing as well. All animals and all species are very cool, but birds are interesting because, well, as you obviously know, birds need to fly. So in order to fly, if they had a lot of weight on them, obviously they wouldn't be able to take off and fly away. So, hi Gilly. So the way their body is made is most of their bones are hollow, they're filled with air. So if you have ever eaten a chicken and if you felt their bones are quite soft. So they need to be like that in order to be able to fly and hold their body weight in air. So the reason why they're probably flexible is because, well, firstly, they just have a few bones in their necks, and they don't really have much muscle. But that's why they're probably flexible, because their bones are quite soft.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
That's cool. And also the whole body is light in order to take off like a plane, because the wings are very like light to take off.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if they're heavy, they'll just go like dum, like
and if you've ever noticed a chicken, they do a lot of pecking.
Yeah.
So they need a flexible neck to be able to do that. And one of the reasons why they do that is because of the way their eyes are made and the way their eyes are formed. So the eyes, again, birds have a very unique feature. Their eyes are situated on the sides of their heads, and their eyes are not like ours, where we can see and focus and unfocus pretty quickly. But birds need to first look, then focus, and then go for it. So hence the whole pecking action.
Right.
That's
interesting. Yeah. So
and
what's another
following
question?
from that chicken topic, the next question from Munira is, do chicks have a good sense of smell? Because like when they do this near the ground, I think.
Yeah, they do have a good sense of smell, because I think they use that to go and find their food. So I think they do have a good sense of smell. Yeah, and when they get any sort of respiratory infection, they don't do very well if their nostrils are blocked up.
Right.
So then they can't like us. And the food won't taste good, because I've heard it's like science or something, like when your nose is blocked, like when you eat your food, it doesn't taste that good, because you like taste that smell of the food, and then makes it more tastier.
Yeah, that it is possible. Yes. Yeah.
Now, can I ask a few questions to the doctor? Yeah.
So what one is next? Actually, can I ask?
Yep, I'll ask this question. So this is actually now, like we've got questions about animals. So we talked about cats, dogs, horses, rabbits, fish, chickens, a whole lot. There is one question that actually has come from one of the viewer, and that's like, how do humans and animals communicate with each other? And is there like some kind of sign language or something similar like how humans use?
That's kind of like my question.
And it was your question.
Yeah.
Okay, so Percy has asked the question.
The animal. Like the vets have to learn animal behavior to like communicate. Like supposedly, like do you need to learn like his way of like doing stuff in order to communicate with him? Like if he whines, you know what that means. So you have to study what each type of thing means.
So I think that's a question in a lot of people's minds, and yeah, same with Kossi. So
that's how
it'll be interesting to know. So one, how do they communicate? And two, how do you learn animal behavior?
There are heaps of books on animal behavior, and yes, vets do have to go through a course during uni that teaches them about animal behavior. But it is very, very important to have at least the basic knowledge of animal behavior. Otherwise, you won't know what is normal and what is abnormal or not normal. So animals can't talk to you. So the way we communicate with them, I'm going to mix both the questions in one answer, sorry. Yeah. The way we communicate with them is via body language. So it is very important to learn their body language. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself in a very stressful situation, or in a situation where it could be very dangerous for you and the animal. So we are taught how to restrain an animal physically. Of course, we have chemical restraints as well, but physical restraint is important. How do you approach a dog or a cat is important. how do you make cats get very stressed out at the clinics, or even in an environment that they're not used to, cats can get a little stressed out. So it is important to be able to read that stressful language that they are showing or portraying to you. Even a dog, if a dog's taken out of a normal environment and brought to the clinic, which has strange smells and strange sounds and strange people, obviously they're not going to be a little happy. So how do you approach said dog? Do you there can be dogs that come in and that have a very relaxed body language, very their ears are pointed towards you and they're up and happy. The tails are wagging. Their hair is relaxed. Their posture is relaxed. Versus a dog that has its tail between his legs, or is lip curling or growling or showing teeth and has his ears pinned. So those sort of postures are important to look at. Also, a cat is probably going to go and hide or get some distance between you and itself. So it's going to back off, or is it going to hiss or come at you and attack you? That's also a possibility. Or is it relaxed? Is it coming up to you and rubbing itself on you and it's happy and it's meowing? And even a horse can, you need to know the language of a horse as well. Is the horse approaching you with its tail high or low, or a relaxed position? Are the ears pointing towards you? Is the other ears pinned down? If they're pinned down, they're probably not happy with you. So yes, it is important to learn animal behavior. And sometimes that can also mean medically as well. Like, for example, if a dog is, that a dog's normal behavior is to eat, drink, poop, and wee. But if it's not doing any of those normal behaviors, is that a reason for concern? So those sort of behaviors are also important.
You did mention, right, that in the first video, you did mention about some acronym that you guys use as vets.
EDDU.
Oh yes, that's right. So eat, drink,
and urinate.
Okay.
EDDU. What does that stand for?
Yeah. Eat, drink, poop, and urine.
EDPU.
Yeah. EDDU. Yeah. All right. Great. No, great insights. Yeah. Definitely. I think it's it takes a lot to obviously be a vet, and
yes,
lots of different because obviously all animals are different, so the behaviors are different, unlike humans.
That's right.
Right. So it's very interesting. Yeah. So I think that brings us probably to the last question that we have in this session. There's one more from Nia.
Yeah, and the very last question from Nia is for you, doctor. It's for you.
For me.
Yes.
No one forgets about you. And the lucky last question is, what are your strengths as a vet? Or what are your strengths?
This is more of an interview question. And also your points of improvement, if someone wants to become a vet, what have you learned? So that'll be interesting. Both strengths.
Maybe that's what I will try and answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe because I'm still learning. I'm still a young veterinarian, so it's a constant learning journey. So I'm not sure if those are my strengths or weaknesses, but I can tell you what I've learned so far, or what I'm still learning. One of the greatest things that this job has taught me is that you lose some battles and you win some battles. You learn from both, and if you know that you have done everything right and you've worked your hardest, if something fails, it's okay. So don't lose heart.
I agree.
Don't let that get to you in a bad way. let it teach you and let it help you improve. So if you get another case like that, then you know that what you should or what you should not do.
Yep.
The other thing, and that is applied for anything in life as well. So, failures and successes are part of everything. Where there's life, there's going to be death. So I'm not trying to sound morbid, but that is the truth. The other thing that I've learned is tolerance and patience. I think I'm still learning, but I've met so many different kinds of people that come into the clinic, and they have all sorts of different situations, whatever their story is at home and at work. They always want to come and talk to you because you are trying to help their animal in a certain situation, but you're also trying to help them go through that. So it is important to listen to other people's stories, to help guide them through it, as well as help their animals. But yes, a lot of patience, a lot of tolerance for all sorts of behaviors, be it a very polite behavior, be it a very aggressive behavior. People come in angry and happy and sad, so you need to be able to,
you have to deal with every
yeah.
They get
more than dealing with animals,
Yeah.
more technically dealing with people. And I've also learned how to time manage. So it is very important to leave work at work. It's easier said than done, but this is for all those people who do want to be veterinarians, that unfortunately your cases don't leave you. So if you've left an animal at the clinic, in hospital, sorry, Kausi, 2 seconds. Come back home, and if you've done your best, then you don't need to worry about it. So yeah, learn to switch off and work-life balance sort of a thing. So yeah.
So 3 main points, Nia, I think that we've noted. So tolerance, patience, time management, and of course, ever-evolving challenges that you learn from. So you win a battle, you lose a battle, but you learn from every battle.
That's right.
Yes, totally.
And,
and you get more advice from people.
And you go and fight more battles, even if
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to become a vet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. There's a lot of studying required.
So I want to become a tennis player.
You can't become both.
that was a quick change.
Yeah.
Battles, like Doctor said.
Yeah.
You get more advice from people of what to do, like whether you should do this, because like even when you do stuff with other people, most of the times they'll get to know you, like what you're good at and not, so then they can tell you whether, like some people can tell me whether I should become a tennis player or a vet like you.
Yeah. And you could be both, and you could be one of those first people or the very few people who can do both. So it is possible.
Yeah.
There are lots of veterinarians who are athletes. So
whoa.
Okay. That's really interesting. I think.
I hope you got your answer to this very interesting and
challenging question for the vet.
Yes, that's right.
I think I heard probably somewhere that it's actually a joke, but I think it's very it relates to the real life, where a mechanic and a doctor are talking, and the mechanic asks the doctor that why do you charge so much for doing things, and the doctor says to the mechanic that try actually doing any changes to the car when the engine is on.
That's right.
And you will realize why we charge that much. So I think to your point around the battles, I think that's an important.
Yeah, it's biology. You can't fight it. So
exactly. Yeah.
Have to help it.
No, but interesting. Thank you so much for your time again. It was really helpful. I think all the viewers got an answer. Do you have any last comments for the viewers?
Yes. If they have animals, or if they do want animals, it's one of the most purest joys in life. they should appreciate their animals, they should respect their animals. If they're thinking of getting one, either for their children or for themselves, it's a very, very good way to learn responsibility and how to look after a living thing. And it also teaches you how to love unconditionally. So I would encourage people to have more pets and just have that experience of that pure joy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much once again for coming for the special vet talk.
Yeah.
First time vet is on our channel.
Thank you for having me. I hope I have helped answer their questions. And if they have some more, they can get in touch with Kauserali, or of course get in touch with their local veterinarian. I've just given a sneak peek of all the
to have animals.
They are quite large and they're quite complex, so it's best to have a proper conversation with a veterinarian.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you. And thank you everybody so much for watching today's video. Hope you found the vet Q&A, both parts, part 1 and part 2, very useful, and you got your answers for your questions that you have shared with us. This was a very special video as it was something unique that we did, because we have never done a vet Q&A before and had someone else in our channel to do a video. So this was very special and very, very fun as well. And please, if you do have anything else like this vet Q&A topic, then do feel free to share it with us so then we can accordingly do a video to your suggestions. Please, please, please do not forget to like and share this video, and definitely subscribe to our channel so you do not, absolutely do not miss out on any future videos. And don't hit that notification, and do hit that notification bell so you get a notification when all our videos are posted out on YouTube. See you all in the next video. Bye!